call the meeting to order. We'll start with the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Welcome, everyone. It's just the three of us here tonight, and we have a fairly light agenda. In terms of payroll and accounts payable, for the last time period, we have payroll in the amount of $40,526.28. We have accounts payable in the amount of $25,111.13. We had 2 ACH payments, one to Swayze for $241,000 and one to the co-op for $702,695. We had 8.5 hours of overtime in PD, 11 hours in FD, and 1 in highway. I think Russ, that just needs your signature. I can go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening.
Next, I'll take a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Motion, second?
Who's who?
I'll second.
Second, so Russ, motion. Included in tonight's consent agenda is the rec manifest, treasurer's report, building permits, and a timber cut form. All in favor of passing the consent agenda?
Aye.
I'm an aye, so that's a pass. We will open it up to public comment. As always, we'll ask people to come forward so your comments can be picked up on the microphone. Anyone interested in public comment tonight?
Just curious what the actionable items are on the agenda. Sorry, Becky got a little
We have a couple of forms and things that we're going to go over tonight. We don't have a ton on the agenda. I think there was a few things on the agenda tonight that have been bumped to a different week.
Okay.
Come on up.
Letty Bedard, Middle Road. The timber form, is that, there was no packet tonight, so I was thrown off.
I think that's because of the holiday.
Okay, is that something that's approved by the select board? What is that exactly?
Yeah, Karen, do you want to kind of explain how those forms work?
It's an intent to cut that is filed by a property owner, and so the property owner and the logger signs it. So if they intend to cut more than 10,000 board feet on their property, then they need to file that. So it's just an estimate of what they intend to log, and then after the cut is complete, they have to submit a report of wood cut so that we can tax them on what is actually cut off the property.
So it's just basically the board signing off on our awareness and permission for that to proceed.
So that we can then collect taxes on it.
Yes.
Provides a local fee,
Sure.
as I understand it.
Thank you.
Yep. We've signed quite a few this year, actually.
Yes.
Maybe 3 or 4. Sometimes we do it separately. Tonight it was in the consent agenda because it's always a sort of a universal approved. Any other public comment? All right, seeing none, we will move over to discussion action items. Karen, I think you have a couple documents for us.
So I have 2 abatements that are recommended to be approved by the town's contract assessor, Jim Michaud. One is for 27 Sherman Ave. The property owner filed an abatement application for the 2022 tax year. They cited incorrect square footage of living area, and they also supplied an appraisal that was done at the time of purchase. So based off of this information, a review of the appraisal, the MLS, and the other documents, as well as an on-site inspection, our assessor is recommending the valuation be adjusted from $742,710 to $500,310.
So this was an error in square footage that
It's
is being
largely
corrected.
an error of finished versus unfinished square footage, and then supported by market appraisal.
And by the time these come to us, Jim has signed off and agreed on all of them, right?
Yes.
Okay. I'll take a motion to approve this abatement for 27 Sherman Ave.
Second, I have a question.
Yeah, discussion.
So the difference in terms of square footage, just so I can get a little more information on why that's,
So
that's pretty
looks like,
significant discrepancy in value.
It is, the property is It's a very unique property. There's 3 round homes on the property. So there's the main house, and then there's an accessory dwelling.
Looks like there's an in-law apartment.
Yes, and so that was assessed as being finished square footage, and it is not. So that's the
It's
biggest difference
empty,
there.
or it's not
It's just
finished.
a shell.
Where is it? What's it?
27 Sherman.
Yeah, it says the initial area was due to an estimate that the attached in-law building was fully furnished, which none of it is. And there was also a discrepancy on square footage of the degree of finished versus unfinished area of the pool house. So there must be another building there as well.
There's 3 round structures on the property. It's a really unique property.
Okay. And it looks like Jim sort of went over all the things that you would check to make sure that this is a valid abatement.
He did an on-site inspection, so he's walked the entire property, and then he compared that to the appraisal.
Okay.
Can I just take a quick peek at the
Sure,
detail?
yeah.
Thanks.
I think we periodically have these. That is a bigger amount of an adjustment than they tend to be. They're often like $5,000. That's a
Right.
big one. I agree. And I'm assuming if Jim was not comfortable with it, he would have let us know. Yeah.
Because he denies them all of the time.
And I don't think those even make it up to us when they're denied, right?
They do, but it's just a cover sheet, basically a letter that goes to the property owner saying why they.
That it's denied, yep. Any further questions?
None?
Okay. So I have a motion and a second to approve this abatement. All in favor?
Aye.
And I'm an aye, so we will approve this. I'll hand it right back to you.
Just for the record, did you second?
Yes.
Yes, he seconded but questioned. Okay,
And then another abatement for 172 Pickpocket Road. So this is, the owner cited other assessed property values as well as sales comparables, construction costs, and an implied market value of $760,713. An interior and exterior review was done, and there were adjustments made to the assessed value. So Jim is recommending the value be reduced from $566,731 to $437,268. So a much smaller adjustment than what you saw previously in the other property.
let me just see. Just want to make sure I understand that.
So that's based off of other properties that are similar style and grade, and also different comps that she has found. So when an abatement is applied for, it's the onus is up to the property owner to supply all of the information to support the number that they suggest.
Gotcha.
And again, question, I missed what you said initially, there was 700?
This one is 566 to 437. So 700 is the implied market value if you adjust for our equalization ratio.
Understood. Okay.
So going from 566 to 437.
Yeah.
And Jim felt that that was appropriate after his walkthrough?
And these are the last two for the 2022 year. So this will close out.
This
the year.
closes out that year?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there a motion to approve this for 172 Pickpocket?
Yeah, motion. Yep.
Motion?
Second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And I'm an aye. Other regular business that you have for us?
The town and the police department's contracts for copiers is coming due. Currently, between the two copiers with our monthly lease and quarterly maintenance agreement, we pay $4,946 annually. I have a proposal for 2 new machines with, which includes quarterly maintenance and copy covers. And that yearly total comes to $3,065. So these are changing the machines to Toshiba, and this is through the state bid that allows us these savings.
Oh, okay, so we're changing supplier through a state bid that gets us a cost savings. Okay. Is there, I know Paul had brought up when we were chatting about this earlier, would there be a way for us to assess what the long-term cost implications are of buying versus leasing?
This is a 5-year lease with a buyout at the end, but I don't know what the cost would be if you wanted to just purchase it
Right.
right out front.
Does the state savings plan offer rebates for buying them or only for this lease program?
I believe it's only for this lease program, but I can reach back out to Danielle, our sales rep, and see what our options would be if you'd be more interested in purchasing something outright.
What's the buyout at 5-year?
It's $100.
Oh, $100?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, so basically you just own it after
Yeah.
5 years.
oh.
I mean, I certainly have no problem with a cheaper lease that saves us $1,000.
Yeah.
Just maybe for the next run, we should think about whether the long-term, if there's long-term cost savings, but this sounds like a good deal.
Okay.
Is this one or
figured
two?
out.
This is for 2 machines.
2 machines.
Okay, that's a good deal. That's a very
And
good deal.
what would the time period be? Like, when does this take place?
So we would contact them, we would be doing this as soon as possible, so they would arrange for these machines to be picked up and shipped out, and then they would deliver and train us on the new machines.
And
It's the
there's-
same machine, right?
It's a different machine, because we have Sharps now, and we'd be
No, I
switching
mean,
to
these two are
Toshiba's.
both the same.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
So the ones upstairs and down are both Sharps, they're the same machine, and then we'll be switching both to the same machine.
And there's no termination fee or any negative for ending our current
There
agreement?
is a $450 termination fee for the PD, and they're gonna pay for that. They're gonna buy that out.
Out of there?
Yep.
We don't have a charge for ours?
We're out of contract completely.
Oh, okay,
So there's 2 months left on the PDs, and they're gonna cover that.
okay.
I would just say, I don't know that we even need to wait, because given now that I understand it's 2 machines with a $100 buyout, that
Right.
sounds like a
Basically,
no-brainer.
yeah, okay. Is that a motion?
Sure.
Sounds like a motion. Is
Okay.
there a second? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
And I'm an aye, so we'll move forward with that cost savings. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
In terms of other regular business, do you have anything else for us? No? All right.
I'm so excited.
I would just like to wish Karen a happy belated 40th birthday that she just had.
Thank you.
It's a big
Happy birthday.
moment. She's younger than all of us, so that's good. And it sounds like you had a very nice birthday, so that's great. And we did have 2 pieces of note in our mail. We've had 2 of our call firefighters who are going to be departing from us. Matt Bergeron because of a move, and Julia Tennant is going back to college. So we are very happy to have them. They are leaving under very good terms and sad to go, and their resignation letters were very kind and positive and thankful. So I would like to take a motion to accept those resignations.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, and I'm an aye. And maybe they'll make their way back to us at some point. All right. In terms of other regular business, we had the ongoing discussions about amending our committee appointment language. Are we turfing that until we have the whole board back?
I assume that that's what you would want to
Yeah,
do.
I think that would make sense. I just wanted to make sure that didn't get lost, because I
Yeah.
did see that in the mail. Okay, perfect, so we will do that. Do we anticipate having a full board next week?
I do, yes.
Okay, so we will do that. That's based on your amendment, and then the follow-up with legal counsel, and then the next step of deciding what our final language for that committee process
I
will be.
did propose an amended.
I thought that was
amendment.
probably from you, the one that was in the mail?
Yes, I
Correct.
think.
Perfect, so we will discuss that next week, it sounds like.
I tried to simplify.
Great, good, so we'll do that next week. Any other discussion action items that anybody has? No? Okay, so we'll move on to committee updates. Russ, we'll start with you. Any updates you have for us?
No.
Okay, sounds good. I know there've been some emails going back and forth that Rick LeBrecq is working with some other folks in town to kind of push the process forward with revision for that solar buyout. And I think there's gonna be a meeting coming up soon, so that's moving forward.
Yep.
I'm very thankful for him.
I
It's
know.
his emails are so smart, so every time I read them, I'm like, yes,
Yep.
we're lucky to have
So
him.
big in that, yep.
Good.
That's great.
Perfect, okay. Any other business you have for the board?
I mean, communication committee keeps rolling along.
Okay.
Karen seems happy. If Karen's happy, I'm happy with the
Thank you.
development on the website
Good.
side of things. And, yeah, nothing.
Great, perfect. Paul?
Yeah, planning board didn't meet last time, so there's really nothing to report. We have a meeting on Thursday.
Okay.
There's a new application, which I don't know if you know anything about, but I haven't really had a chance to look at yet, but I'll report back on it for a new development in town.
Okay. And then I think at some point, we're gonna have follow-up about the capital improvement plan. I don't know if somebody
Yeah, that's
is
also.
gonna come to our meeting, or we're just gonna talk about it at a meeting, but we'll need to kind of plan that out as we get into budget season.
We do another meeting coming up with the rec department, and that should be
Okay.
the last meeting before we
To finalize the,
finalize, yeah. Do you have the date? It's on my
Monday.
calendar. Monday, thank you.
perfect, okay, so that's kind of getting to the final stages.
Yeah.
Great, okay, perfect.
4:30.
In terms of sort of gearing up for budget season, we also, when we had discussed employee increases and wage adjustments for last year, we had decided that this year we would try to have those discussions as early as possible, well before the review process, so that everything is already on the table before the reviews happen. And Karen shared with me that probably in the next 2-3 weeks, we will get the COLA advice from our financial company, and then can have that discussion. So just to put that bug in everybody's ear that will be coming up. And luckily, knock wood, inflation is tremendously better now than it was last year. So we will have those conversations probably 2 weeks from now. I do not have any committee updates. The school board resumes meeting next Monday. The big open item with the school board, between the school board and us, is the February primary elections. We still have not heard from the state what the official date of those are, so we are waiting with bated breath. Daphne is waiting and says most town clerks in the state are eagerly awaiting when those dates will be. So I will bring that back up with the board and just give them a status update that we don't yet have those dates for elections. And I think that's all I had. I know a couple of weeks ago, we had talked about Andy not being able to go to the next conservation meeting. And I think, are you going for him, Russ?
Yeah.
Yes, perfect,
Yes.
okay, perfect. All right, any other board business? No, okay. And we have no non-public. I will take a motion to adjourn at 6:17 PM. Is that a second? All in favor?
Aye.
I'm an aye. 6:17, adjourn.
Thank you.
Like it.